guys, how's it going? You're in for a treat today, because this is actually one of the exercises off one of my offbeat hi-hat courses. So I've got a couple of these now where we're basically trying to kind of dig into trying to play just offbeat hi-hats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, rather than 1 and 2 and 3. Because when we're kind of playing music or kind of listening to music, we're always nodding to 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the beats, they're the kind of downbeats. That's where everything's kind of lined up. So we're usually kind of emphasizing that 1 and 2 and 3. But when we play offbeat hi-hats, only in the offbeat, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're putting the emphasis kind of in between the beats, and it creates this really kind of cool 1 and 2 and kind of feel, which makes music feel really good to kind of dance to. And if people are on the dance floor or people are kind of watching your band and they're nodding their head, they're having a good time, guess what they're going to do? They're going to buy tickets to your next show. Haha, Korea. So that's what we're trying to get here, just to try and make that drumming sound cooler. So like I say, it's one of the exercises from one of my courses, so if you struggle with this one or you find it too easy, again, there's exercises either side of this one, so kind of leading you into this and also then building on this and making it a little bit more difficult. So if you want to get more into it, go check it out. But thought I'd give you guys this one exercise, show you a kind of little sneak peek. So this one, we're going to play kick on its own, followed by a hi-hat on its own, then a snare on its own, and then we're going to play snare and hi-hat together. So 1 and 2 and. Because again, it's getting that 1 and 2 and. That rhythm's okay on its own, 1 and 2 and. But when we start putting other stuff, how far can you go with your kick and snare before that gets thrown off? So starting simple, and then if I add that second snare that we've got, okay. But usually when people put that second snare, they'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then the right hand kind of goes back to its default setting of playing kind of straight eighth notes on the hi-hat. So again, we're trying to teach our right hand some new tricks, giving us that cool little open sound. 1 and 2 and. So with that snare there, kick, snare, snare. But then the next bit, we're going to go for 2 kicks, meaning the first kick's on its own, and then we're going to have a kick with the hi-hat. So it's kick on its own, kick and hi-hat. 3 and then 4, snare drum on its own, and then hi-hat on its own to finish. So kick, hat, snare, snare and hat together, kick on its own, kick and hat, snare on its own, hat on its own. So we're just trying to play that kick, snare, snare, kick, kick, snare. But we're trying to do that with our right hand in between. Multitasking. And then move it around. Sounds great on the bell of the ride. And then, again, these next courses that come in after the kind of snare variations course, it's then going into, okay, can we do that with some fancier bass drums? But the whole time focusing on doing all this crazy stuff, but 1 and 2 and keeping that hi-hat pattern there. And again, I've also got some courses on ghost notes and stuff. They might be out already, or I'm still writing them. I mean, there's a lot of these coming out, but it's you know, trying to keep that going. But trying to make the snare drum do some kind of ghost notes. Normally we have this kind of groove. We've got the ghost note groove, straight eighth notes on the hi-hat. But a lot of people, they can do all that snare drum stuff, but they realise it's kind of lined up with their right hand playing this. So as soon as they change the right hand, they can't do the snare drum stuff anymore. So if I then go to the offbeat, it's all of a sudden a lot harder. Extra hi-hats, easy, then give it a go when you're home. You see what I mean. But it's, you know, trying to do your normal grooves. You think, oh, I've got left hand independence, but actually it's still reliant on that right hand. So trying to relearn it, but with the offbeat. Seems killer, but this is the thing. You don't want to have straight eighth note hi-hats, complicated bass drum and snare drum stuff, but as soon as you go to an offbeat hi-hat or a different hi-hat pattern, all of your other stuff kind of gets dulled down and you feel like a super advanced drummer in one area and then a really naff drummer in another. So that's why I've kind of got these courses, just to help you kind of build through them. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this groove, guys, and I hope I've shown you the kind of potential of trying to change this right hand pattern. You know, if you want some help with that, again, it's less than $10 a month for the channel membership stuff. But again, if you're not interested in that, just enjoy this groove. I hope you've learned some cool things from it, and it just kind of encourages you to try out some new areas in your playing. So you guys take it easy. I'll see you soon.